Hello everybody, welcome back to Steve's Gear. And today we're going to take a look at this Sparter 12 can cooler. So something a little bit different, but it's that time of year. Now, strange fact about me, I like coolers. I don't know what it is, but every time I go to a department store or a sporting goods store that has coolers, I always stop by and look and see what's new and what colors they have and things like that. I've had multiple soft coolers by different brands and a few different hard coolers. I don't use them as much because I don't camp as much, but one about this size is the ones I use the most. Now, full disclosure, this company did reach out to me and asked me if I wanted to take a look at it. I get offers every once in a while for some products, but a lot of times they're bad quality or they just don't interest me. But when I saw the word cooler, it kind of perked up my ears. So I checked out their Instagram, I checked out Amazon listing, and this one looks like something I might even spend my own money on. So I said, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So thank you to them for sending it out to me. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. We're going to do kind of initial impressions. I'll go through a few pros and cons of it, and I'll let you decide if it's worth your money. So let's talk about the price real quick. So on Amazon right now, this one's $189, and it has a 5% off coupon. So I think it ends up being about $179 for this one. Now it is available in two other colors. You can get it in an all black version and kind of a cyan color. Now those ones are $219, and they have a $30 coupon. So just depending on what color you decide to get, kind of depends on what discount you get. So they are a little bit more expensive, but some of these soft coolers that are a little bit better are a little more expensive. Let's take a look at some stuff that come in the box. So it did come packaged in a nice box, good quality. You get a few accessories, so you do get some zipper lube. If you've never had a cooler like this before, these zippers are waterproof and airproof, or airtight. So they are kind of stiff. So some zipper lube does come in handy sometimes, so it's nice that they include some in the package. It came with a few tags on it. So let's take a look at the tags. This talks about the front of it, and then you get a few care instructions in it and some warnings on the back. Then you get a little bit of a description card here. We'll go over most of the features of that. Now this one actually comes with an ice pack. So that's something I don't see in a lot of coolers. It's kind of nice they include this. We'll kind of talk about some details about this shortly. Now I did freeze it last night. It's been thawed out for quite a long time, so it's mostly unthawed. But I just wanted to make sure that it didn't leak or anything. And there's no leaks or nothing, so it all seems pretty good. So it's nice that they include that. They also include a carry strap. I just don't have it hooked on because it's a little easier to film without it. But you do get a nice padded, it's not super padded, a little bit of padding in there. Shoulder strap, it's got a nice branding on it. And on the back side, it's kind of a non-slip material. So these coolers do get kind of heavy once they're loaded up and you're walking around with them. So it's nice that it's non-slip, gives you a little extra grip on the shoulder. You do get some nylon material with it. And then on the ends, you get little swivel clip-on buckles that clip onto the side of the cooler. So it's nice that they include that with it. Now let's take a look at the cooler. So besides the shoulder strap, you also do get a hand strap. So same thing, a little bit of padding in here, same kind of material. And you just put it in here, a little bit more of that non-slip material, and you're able to just Velcro it up. So you get a little bit of padding if you decide you just want to carry it by the handle instead of using the shoulder strap. Up to you on which one you like best. Now, as far as materials goes, this is kind of a cold-pressed 840D TPU material. So it's that stiffer material. So it's kind of stiff on the top and stiff on the bottom. You get the branded on both sides. And I like it when the coolers have a little bit harder top and bottom. I've had a few soft coolers that have been soft on one end or the other or both ends. And it just makes it easier to load, and they stand up better and everything when they're harder. So I do appreciate that. Now, I got this cooler last Saturday, so I've been kind of looking it over. I haven't used it, but I've been looking it over. I haven't noticed any crazy gaps in the seams or anything. Stitches and stuff looks good. The bottom's all good, pretty good stuff. So material-wise, it's pretty good. Now, on the front of the cooler, you do get, obviously, one half of the strap, and you get a couple rows of some MOLLE attachments on it. So if you want to clip on like a carabiner or an S-clip or something, you want to carry a Bluetooth speaker, hook your water bottle onto it, another little pouch, something that maybe have to carry less in your hands if you're carrying this cooler already. So it's nice that they have that. Like I said, stitching and stuff seems pretty good. Now the outside material is that same 840D TPU material. It's just kind of layered material on the sides and the back. And the same thing, no weird gaps or anything. Now you get the buckles here on the side where you clip on the shoulder strap. They seem sewn on pretty well. I guess one maybe con is this isn't the most heavy duty plastic I've ever felt on a cooler. Now I think it'll still support the weight of the cooler, obviously, with the shoulder strap. It's just not the thickest one I've ever seen. And then on the back side of it, you do get some more of that MOLLE. And it has that seam running down the back, no gaps or anything in it. It seems like it's all sealed up pretty good. So that's good. Now, I talked a little bit about this zipper. So you do get a airtight, waterproof zipper, IP68 rated. If you're somebody who likes to go floating on the river and stuff like that, this cooler should float just fine, float next to you. That's a good thing about having these airtight coolers. And you do get a T-handle for the cooler, because if you've never used this type of zipper, like I said, they can be pretty stiff, so you need a little extra grip on them. Another maybe little criticism is that little piece of metal that attaches to the T-handle. Not the thickest piece. I think it'll still hold up. I mean, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with it, but I'd like to see a little bit more beefed up metal, but I think it'll get by for now. Now, when you go to close it, like I said, it is kind of stiff, so you have to kind of get used to that. I did put a little bit of lube on it, so it is a little bit smoother. But if you do decide to pick up one of these, just know that it's kind of stiff by design. And then the very end, you have like almost like a little C-clip looking thing here. That's the spot you would actually lube. And so when you go over that, you clip it all the way, and then it'll kind of evenly distribute the lube throughout the zippers. So let's open it up. We'll take a look at the inside. Now keep in mind, this is the 12-can cooler, so it's not huge. It's more of like your day style cooler. Now if we open it up, you get this kind of cool aqua color. I kind of dig the color of the inside of this one. Now if you let the lid kind of just free fall, you don't get any weird gaps or anything in the material here. It sounds kind of funny, but I've had a few soft coolers where like when the lid dangled, you get big gaps in here, and I didn't really like that. This one doesn't seem to have it. You get some thick insulation here on the lid, and then you get some insulation here on the inside. Now the thick insulation on the lid is actually kind of useful, because when you close it, this insulation actually dips down a little bit below this insulation, helps create a better air gap. So you get the airtight seal on the zipper, and then you get this that goes over that. Less air means more cold. Now this one claims to be a 72-hour cooler. I haven't tested that, but a lot of that is can be user error. So when you use a cooler like this, obviously you want to cool or freeze your items before you stick them in here. You want to limit how many times you open and close this. You want to sit in the shade if you can. And then even if you have the space, even if you throw the cooler in the refrigerator for an hour before you leave, get everything nice and cold, that's going to prolong your stuff. And then you want to use the correct amount of ice and ice packs for what you're carrying. So take that into consideration when you read the descriptions of how long stuff lasts. You don't want to throw in one little ice pack and throw all your stuff in here and expect it to stay cold for 72 hours. It just doesn't work that way. Now on the inside, you do get kind of almost like a D shape on the bottom. I don't know if it's really going to show up too well on camera, but you can kind of see on the ice pack. Now, it's very nice that they include the ice pack. It's much appreciated, and I think it'll work out pretty good. Now, one slight con is this one does fit in here perfect. So perfect fit in the bottom. It's great. The only thing is, if you're like me and you've had multiple coolers and you've built up a lot of ice packs, I have some big ones that are perfectly square, and they don't fit in here. So I did test one of the ones that I use sometimes. It doesn't fit. It kind of stands up kind of funny in the corners. Now I have two smaller ones that fit perfectly fine side by side. So it's just something to think about. If you just use the ice pack it came with and a little bit of ice, I think you're going to be just fine. But just maybe one of the cons. Now, as far as everything else in the cooler goes, like I said, pretty good quality. I'm not making any money from these if you guys buy them or anything, so I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I think for the money, this isn't a bad price. Now, this is going to be one you're going to use for like day trips to the lake or to the river or soccer games or, taking a car drive or something like that. You're not going to get a full weekend of camping out of this size. Maybe you could if you packed really light or you didn't have very many cold things. But this will be like the one I use when I go to the lake and stuff. And so my idea is when I do some videos in the future about some outdoor stuff, I'm going to use this cooler. I'm going to use it. I'll try to give some updates here and there. So if you're interested in seeing those updates, follow along for some of my future videos. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys checking this out with me, getting a good look at this. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it. Like I said, I haven't took it out in the wild yet, but I've kind of played with it around the house for the last week, and so far, I've liked it. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks a lot for checking it out, and I'll talk to you all later.